I will talk about the introduction of Indochina. Union Indochina or French Indochina were created from 1887. It was located in South Asia. This land ruled by French, which are Cambodia, Laos, and Vietnam. In 1897, Cambodia had fallen under total control French. However, French realized that Cambodia do not have all the wealth they presumed. Cambodia was largely neglected in favor of their more profitable neighbor Vietnam. Because of that, French collected tax from Cambodia but did little in the way of improvement in Cambodia economy. In 1904, King Norodom died. French put a king brother instead of his son on the throne. Fall of France during World War II, Indochina was controlled by Japan. In 1945, Japanese dissolved the French colonial government. King Sihanouk announced that independent and new government was established, headed by nationalist Sang Ngoc Thang as a prime minister of Cambodia. End of World War II, Sang Ngoc Thang was arrested. Indochina Plantation. In 1931, Indochina has produced 10 million ton rubber, and during 1995, Indochina has produced 130 million rubber. In 1931, Rubber Plantation Union has 139 employees. However, in 1897, the diplomacy rolled on a mission to Java, sent a sea to Havia, to the Botanical Garden of Saigo, which has received its first time in 1891. The issue affected Indochina industry is first, economic condition of Indochina during Second World War II. Destruction of Vietnam became bigger, collapsing of infrastructure by bombing and landmine. Second, issue happened between Japan and France during Second World War II, when Tonkin North area of Vietnam was occupied by Japan. Needs. The third, the relationship between Vietnam and Laos. Laos Kingdom has engaged and allied with United States from 1958 to 1962 to against communist force. Second, Vietnam's invention of Laos problem caused Laos to be weakened. Fourth, the relationship between Cambodia and Vietnam. Socialist Republic of Vietnam and the Kingdom of Cambodia. Many of Cambodia have wrong perception of Vietnam. This because they think the Vietnam has invaded and have occupied many parts of Cambodia. Because of that, they have conflict borders between Cambodia and Vietnam.
Corruption may become the main ethical issue for rubber plantation in Laos. Corruption is a form of dishonesty or criminal offense committed by an authorized person or organization to obtain illegal benefits or abuse power for private gain. The privately owned Hong In Jala HLGL company and state-owned Vietnamese rubber group VRG operations are characterized by a lack of consultation with the community, failure to pay compensation, and the use of armed security forces to guard the plantation. HLGL and VRG acquired more than 2,000 hectares of land through a series of land grabbing deals with the Laos and Cambodian governments that lacked transparency. This transaction was supported by the World Bank's International Finance Corp (IFC) and Germany Deutsche Bank, resulting in widespread devastation to the environment and livelihoods of locals. Laos officials are colluding and bribing to embezzle public funds and getting rich by selling off state-owned land and illegally logging forests. Land grabbing and illegal logging are two sides of the same coin in Laos. The country's forest cover has dropped from 71% of total land mass in 1960 to just over 40% in 2010. Laos politicians had enabled the two largest rubber plantations, which is HLGL and VRG, in Vietnam to grab thousands of hectares of community land and clear large swaths of forest. Companies grab land to access valuable timber. Once the forests are cleared, the rubber or palm oil industry will move in. Whole communities in Laos have driven deeper into poverty due to the rout of environment that has sustained them for generations. Therefore, corruption may be the ethical issue for Sime Darby to consider whether to set up in Indochina Plantation.
The market issue in Indochina Plantation is commodity price. Low commodity prices as prices are clearly fundamental to the success or failure of the capitalists in the war. Plantation commodity prices are often unstable. Crucially, plantations are typically developed at times when commodity prices are relatively high. This is clearly demonstrated in Laos in relation to the rubber plantation development. Significant stockpiles and falling demand from China kept prices under pressure. The Vietnam plantations also caused an oversupply in the market. The rubber plantation business in Laos, which issues of unsubstantially low price, and this may cause many domestic farmers are affected. Global economy issues which include crude oil prices, fluctuating currency exchange rates, and price of other commodity prices on markets will likely drag down the global rubber price in years to come. The prices that Laos growers receive are substantially lower than what Chinese growers receive. The difference may be due to quality, monopoly control over the border trade, and in particular access to quota-based import allowances, which seems to be the major factor.
The following issue is the political issue. Laos and Vietnam share a common border and consequently had a very complicated relationship, and sometimes this clash would evolve into wars. The first point is the Cambodian-Vietnamese War. This war was an armed conflict between the Socialist Republic of Vietnam and Democratic Cambodia. The war started because Cambodia repeatedly invaded Vietnam, attempting to retake the Mekong River Delta. The country felt the area belonged to them and continuously raided Vietnamese area on the border. Also, the Cambodian troops exterminated the Vietnamese living within Cambodia. The second point is Vietnam is one of the largest investors of Laos. On 6th of January, the 41 section of the Vietnam-Laos Intergovernmental Committee in Hanoi that co-chaired by both Vietnamese and Laos Prime Minister. They had announced a few promises. The Vietnamese side committed that it will continue facilitating Laos to export and import goods via all seaports of Vietnam, and the total two-way trade hit over $1 billion in 2018. Also, according to statistics from the Vietnamese Ministry of Planning and Investment, at present, Laos has licensed 409 Vietnamese projects, with the total registered capital of $4.1 billion, making Vietnam the third largest foreign investor in the neighboring nation, after China and Thailand. For all the hype about a special relationship, the Laos-Vietnamese ties are a marriage of convenience, not love.
Next, the military issues that happened between scientific plantations and Indochina Plantation is Yunnanese top management with the lower-level Cambodian neighbors. Cambodia is the poorest country and it was inhibited by corruption, limited human resources, high income inequality, and poor job prospects. Cambodian society is lower than Vietnam, and also the lower education in Cambodian people will decrease the number of future workforce and leaders of the country. Lower-level Cambodian laborers has little power to involve in decision-making of these ventures. Less powerful Cambodian laborers accept and expect that power is distributed unequally in society. Cambodian people will feel unsatisfied and lost job motivation compared to top management people in Vietnam. This will make the line of distinction between the Yunnanese management's level and labor's level becomes blurred. The second managerial issue is Malaysian figurehead controller and corrupt supervisions. In this business, there will be only one Malaysian to conduct, supervise, and manage rather than have more managers to participate and being more active in management. Since most people are strongly immersed in their own cultures, they always far to observe how it influences their human behaviors.
Apart from that, there is also lack of lingua franca problems happen between the ventures. There are lack of critical thinking towards language or how to communicate or interact with other people. There should be more than one manager involved in these ventures. In order to reduce the corrupt issues, a maximum of 3 managers need to oversee and be more active in business management. If the minor make decision alone, it will bring a negative impact towards managers and employees.
First strategy, focusing on management aspect. First, apply the good hostess cultural dimension theory within organization. We can apply the power distance distribution of power between members and the society, and then a manager can discuss with each other to eradicate the corruption and need to cooperate with people from the various countries and cultural background in order to avoid language barriers. Next, manager must be attuned to such cultural nuances in order to function effectively, and then create a shared goal and communicate it to all parties. Next, for the second strategies, to focus to emphasize on socio-economics and environmental aspect. First, collaboration in plantation management is to clear internal conflict between them, and second, give access to local communities to collaborate with authorities. This is to enhance community capacities, and then encourage more initiative for the community in terms for social and economics. And lastly, equal benefits sharing with the local communities to build harmony relationship between each other. And then the third strategy, which is to focusing on communication and negotiation. In this communication, we can appoint a mediator. Specialized communication and negotiation technique can be Malaysian in this plantation venture for the mediator, and the mediator need to negotiate with lower level workers and local government, and then appoint a representative from each nation. This is to fair the communication to them all. And lastly, provide training to all employees. This is to apply them with a managerial knowledge to optimize the performance.
Hi, my name is Sherman Goh and my mention number is 62511. And now I will do a quick conclusion. So as a conclusion, there is 4 dimensions that have been successfully identified, which are ethical, market, managerial and political issues. As the most pressing issue are potential internal conflict between Vietnamese managerial staff with the lower level Cambodian workers and with the Laotian government. Therefore, the chosen strategy of approach from Indochina Plantation is through an introduction of a capable mediator. With a mediator as the intermediary, the tension between lower level Cambodian worker and Vietnamese management officer can be reduced to the minimum level, while also providing support to any worker that face discrimination in the workplace. As the workers have more friendly working environment, their work productivity should be boosted, which subsequently will be providing more value to the company. This in return will enable the company to achieve long-term sustainability. Thus, I believe it is wise for the Indochina Plantation to set up a plantation in Attaput province in Laos as long as it follows our strategy of approach. That's all from us. Thank you.